But I still believe this series is still very winnable for the Bucks. They're going to have to do a lot of adjusting, and I talked about that after game one. They've got to realize that Brook Lopez cannot play in this series. Unfortunately, Brook Lopez is a very, very good player. He's a guy that, but because he's able to make a three, I think Milwaukee and Bucks falls in love a little bit too much. But what you have to do is play small. Remember the guy Bobby Portis that played in game 5 and 6? You have to play him. You have to play him with Giannis. He can be dominant. You already dominate inside, but you add a guy with some toughness and some guys who's got a skill set that can play in this series. You got to get more athletic. You got to get quick. Your Phoenix Sun team is athletic. They're quick. They can get up and down the floor. You got to play those guys that you have that can do that. And sometimes it bothers me so much when you watch Phoenix come down consistently and run the pick and roll with Brook Lopez in it, and they get whatever they want. You can't let Chris Paul have his cake and eat it too. You're going to give him one-on-one with Brook Lopez, and if you don't, if Brook Lopez does not step up and defend it the right way, he's going to make a great pass to Ayton or find an open three-point shooter. You cannot give them both. And I think that's where the stubbornness comes in there for the Milwaukee Bucks. I like where they're at right now. I thought Giannis is only going to get – yeah, they're stubborn because you want to continue to play Brook Lopez. You cannot play Brook Lopez this series. It happens. It's unfortunate. You don't match up with every team. The Bucks have to make adjustments to be able to compete with the Phoenix Suns. That's how the game goes. Every series is different. Every matchup is different. And then you got to rely on your stars. Chris Middleton and Holiday, you can't have a guy who just sit out 2 games, come back, and be more aggressive than you are. Chris Middleton, you cannot sit back. You just came off an unbelievable Eastern Conference Finals run. You got to be ready to go come finals time. He's too lackadaisical. He takes too many possessions off on the offensive end. He has to stay aggressive if they have a chance to win. But I do believe, because I thought last night only down 6 points with about 4 minutes to go, they was in the game. I do believe this still is going to be a series. I can't wait to see Milwaukee when they get home.
Twan, the only people that's stubborn is the people sitting on this set next to me. I don't know where Wilds is. I know where Nick said it at the beginning of the series. Nick said that he think they're going to go down, 0-2, the Bucks. And now they're down 0-2. History has shown that the team, 90% of the time, the teams that are in this position, they go on to win the title. So you guys are being stubborn. Y'all need to stop this, man. The Suns, they're better coached. Okay, Monty Williams and CP3, throw him in there. The leadership. This is when you know a team is in trouble, a team that is in position and have the momentum like the Suns. Is it after the fact if they're hanging from the rafters? Well, what does that mean, Brandon? What does that look like? They're cheering, they're celebrating on Instagram, Twitter, talking bad about the other team. What did CP3 do after that game? He said, look, I've been on the wrong side of history too many times. These guys haven't had the heartache and pain in the playoffs. They don't have that type of experience. We haven't done anything yet. He is selling those guys down. He knows he's in his moment. He knows this is a moment. This is a moment in history for all those guys. They're not letting up. Twan, they're the most complete team in the NBA, and they've been that way all year. Now, unfortunately, it took us up until March to figure out that this team was the real deal, but this team is the real. There ain't no Giannis or no Middleton or no Drew Holiday getting them back into this. They faced them in the regular season, Nick, and it was the same outcome. Now, I don't care if it was, they beat them by 1 point. They're the better team. So this whole conversation is nonsense, man. Coming back 0-2 deficit 90% of the time, the teams are in this position, they go on to win a title.
I actually agree with you, Brandon, that this conversation is nonsense, but for a very different reason. And I hate to do this to our wonderful producers because this is going to be mortifying for them. But this question has a fact error in it. Like, what's more likely, a Sun sweep? How could the Sun sweep when right now it's 2-1 Phoenix? And you might be like, Nick, there's only been 2 games played. I know. It's 2-1 Phoenix, though. Milwaukee has won Game 3. Game 3, bet your life on it. Take your 401k.
Let's go.
There is a 0% chance Milwaukee loses Game 3 at home. Milwaukee has responded in every Game 3 of this postseason. Game 3s, Game 3s have been, by the way, Phoenix's worst games this postseason. They lost Game 3 to the Clippers. They lost Game 3 to the Lakers. They, of course, won Game 3 against the fraudulent Nuggets, but that's neither here nor there. So it's 2. When we talk on Monday, it will be 2-1 Milwaukee. And so then 2-1 Phoenix, pardon me. So then we will have a real series. And so there are a couple of reasons, Wilds, I still believe that it will be Bucks in 7. And Brandon's right that I said before the series I thought it'd be 2-0 Phoenix, then 2-2, then 3-2 Phoenix, and then Milwaukee win the final 2, the exact play-by-play of the Brooklyn series. But something happened in Game 1, and then something else happened in Game 2 that has to be mentioned, which is the Suns were the only team this postseason that were dancing through the raindrops of all these injuries. Even the Bucks, take Giannis out, they lost DiVincenzo, an important role player, early in this postseason. The Suns had lost no one. And then in Game 1, they lost their 9th man in Saric. And last night, it sure appeared to me, unfortunately, it looks like they lost their 8th man in Torrey Craig. So the Suns are now down to 7 people. It's the 5 starters and the 2 cams. Payne and Bridges. Not Bridges, pardon me. Johnson. Right. Cam Payne and Cam Johnson. I think that will matter the longer the series goes on. And while Brandon is correct, Wilds, that these teams have played 4 times and the Suns have won all 4, and that does matter, what's also true is they've played 4 times and they have proven they have no answer for Giannis. Giannis is going to score 35-plus in every game left. I don't think Middleton's going to be an objectively bad player again the way he was in Game 2. The Bucks have already won Game 3. They'll win Game 4, and it's going to be tied up 2 apiece going back to Phoenix.
I totally agree with you except for one thing. Don't bet your 401k. The tax implications on it, if you pull it out early, are terrible. Just go get a loan from your local bank or a loan shark. Then bet it all. Then the Bucks will win.
Capital gains
Here's
taxes.
why I think that, Antoine, it'll kill you. Antoine, so one, the Suns can't stop Giannis. We saw it in Game 1. We saw it even more in Game 2. We're going to see it in Game 3. And then I was asking for an aggressive Drew Holiday. We got a super aggressive Drew Holiday. He had 14 shots in first game, and then he almost equaled that in the first half. But the problem is they weren't going in. He's getting them at the rim. Those will eventually go in. He's not going to have a historically bad performance. And here's the other thing that I think we can pencil it in as a guarantee. Chris Middleton is going to be good. This is what happened. Against Brooklyn, 13 points, Game 1. 17 points, Game 2. 35 points, Game 3. He had that big game. Against the Hawks, 15, 15, and then 38. Last night he had 11. I think he gets home, he starts looking for a shot, and it starts to drop. We know he's an up-and-down player, and since he's had a down game, I expect him to be up. Once those guys start hitting, I feel like they can go back to Phoenix tied.
Well, Kevin, let me help you out. For Brandon, too. I was down 0-2. We got dominated by the Mavs the first 2 games, and people wrote us off and thought we was not going to win the series. That's basketball. This is what it's all about. They just protected their home court. Don't get too excited because you see all these Bridges and, Jay Crowder and Cam Johnson and Cam, these guys making shots at home. Let me see you make them on the road in a hostile environment. Let's see if they can do it come Sunday. I'm not saying they're not capable. Let me see them do it. Sometimes it's very easy to play at home in these type of situations when everything is going your way. The Bucks have got to jump on them early, continue to add pressure. I thought they did a great job in the first quarter of doing that. But they also need, Kevin, you talked about it, Holiday and Middleton have to stay aggressive throughout the game. Middleton just disappeared yesterday. You cannot disappear. Yep. You have to continue to stay aggressive.
So basically we're asking the Bucks, and I took this from Dusty, one of our producers. So we're asking the Bucks to win 4 out of the next 5 games, and the Suns have only lost 4 games in the last 2 months. Guys, listen, stop being stubborn. It's over. Nick, I heard you, Twan. Your prized possession, most prized memorabilia possession, put it on the line. We don't have to put 401ks on the line, but I got my Jets helmet, and I'm willing to bet it against any prized possession y'all have.
Jets helmet?
Yes.
Why
what do you
would we
mean?
want to win the
This is
Jets
worth
helmet?
a lot.
That's very valuable to him.
Why would we want to win? It's
very valuable to him.
That's not
What do you got? What do you got to
Don't
put
be
up
mean.
against it?
Don't be mean to them.
I got my notes from today. I'll sign them. I got my notes from today against your Jets helmet.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.